How's it going, guys? We are back here on the NFL Cymru podcast, and Guto, potentially this is going to be our last episode of 2025. Can you believe
Wow.
it? 2025 was the birth of the NFL Cymru pod, and we're now coming towards what we've got 3 weeks left of the regular season in the NFL.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have already been eliminated from the playoffs. Obviously, our our hearts are very involved with those teams. Obviously, we'll get to those very, very shortly, with the Falcons and the Dolphins being eliminated in these past couple of weeks. Apologies, by the way, that we didn't get around to do a pod last week, but we much enjoyed 2 weeks ago that chat with Canan Anoil from Ydi'r Helmet and Ffitio. Look up the Welsh language podcast, NFL podcast that he has. A very happy boy, I would have said, because the Saints got a very, very unpredictable victory over the Panthers that have kind of derailed the NFC South. That is kind of wide open. We're going to be talking far more in depth about who's going to win the divisions, because Guto, this week the slate of games are so tasty. We've got so many in the divisional battles. So I think out of as we finish, if you haven't been watching us here on the NFL Cymru podcast, we usually finish up with 5 of the week, 5 games that we're most looking forward to for this weekend. And I believe 3 out of the 5 are in the divisional games that might predict who's going to win that division. So this weekend is going to be absolutely massive. Obviously, we're going to have Christmas Day games as well, NFL here in the NFL. So yeah, it's going to be very, very busy schedule. But I'm pretty sure that this might be the last episode, the last part of 2025. Before I pass it on to Guitar, can I just say to anyone who has contributed, listened, commented over the last 9-10 months, Guitar, on our journey here. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah.
We are thoroughly looking forward to continuing and growing in 2026. So the NFL Cymru podcast will be back bigger and better. I promise you that in 2026. So Guitar, before I go on my Dolphins rant, shall we just kind of look back to what happened, an incredible game down in Tampa between the Falcons and the Buccaneers on Thursday night, where, well, let's be honest, Kyle Pitts came alive, and he is our player of the week. And not only he is our player of the week, he's the NFC offensive player of the week as well.
Yeah. So it shows what we actually are talking about, and we actually know our stuff here at NFL Cymru. Obviously, giving Kyle Pitts his flowers and winning Player of the Week. Not what I was expecting when I woke up on Friday morning to a Falcons win, a last-minute winner as well. So a bit of a payback from Week 1, if you remember correctly, when the Buccaneers pretty much, well, we bluffed it with the last kick of the game. That led to Buccaneers win the game. This time, it was Falcons go in Tampa Bay as well, so it was pretty sweet to win that game. Let's talk about Kyle Pitts for a minute. Obviously, he won our Player of the Week. 3 touchdowns, 166 yards, and 11 receivers. That was his career game. Yeah, unbelievable performance. Kirk Cousins, he finally showed up. He did really well as well. So there's rumors going on. He'll probably be the starter next season, with Penix Jr. still having his injury. That's what, well, Raheem Morris has said that everything's still on the table. So I will not be surprised if we do see Kirk Cousins next season with the Falcons. But a very happy win, a very happy boy waking up Friday morning. We've got a game this weekend against the Arizona Cardinals, 2 teams with nothing really to play for, to be honest with you. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, a very happy win for the Falcons. They played really well. Kirk Cousins played really well. Bijan Robinson had a great game as well. The good thing about this week as well is Drake London. Well, there's good news, bad news. Drake London is back in practice, which he's been out for a very long time. It would be really great to see him back on the field just before the end of the season, giving us a bit of taste of what we've missed and what we can get from him from next season. The bad news is Kyle Pitts is questionable. So that's the notification I received an hour ago on the app. So we'll wait and see what happens there. He's got a couple of days before he can hopefully recover for the game against the Cardinals. But overall, very good win against the Buccaneers, who are fighting for the top of NFC South against the Carolina Panthers, which we will get into later on because they've got some tasty games coming up.
So yeah, what a performance down in Tampa, to be fair, for the Falcons. And unfortunately, the Falcons had already been eliminated from the playoffs, the playoff picture. What was it, 2 weeks ago? So a standalone performance, and has really dented the Buccaneers' chances of winning their division as well. Obviously, they're going to be playing the Panthers twice in the last 3 weeks, so that's obviously going to determine who's going to win the NFC South for this year. So obviously, Gito, not the season that you were hoping for as a Falcons fan. Obviously, injuries has completely derailed, I guess, your season. And I think obviously after the season will be over, we'll have enough time to chat about whether Raheem Morris is going to be back as the Atlanta coach or not. So plenty of time to think about that question. However, in the meantime, we're going to cross over to the AFC because we have plenty to talk about. My beloved Miami Dolphins, Guitar. So we had a 1% chance of making the playoffs before our demoralizing, embarrassing loss in the cold to Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football. And not only that, Guitar, this is potentially a turning point in the Dolphins era because Tua Tagovailoa, our 5th overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft, which I stayed up. I remember it was in the middle of COVID, and I stayed up, and I really, really wanted us to take Tua despite his injury, and we did. And now, let's be honest, Gito, the Tua era in Miami is over. He's been benched, and our rookie 7th-round pick, Quinn Ewers, is going to be starting for us on Sunday against the Bengals, and for the last 3 games of the season. So Tua has been benched, and he has been replaced by our 7th-round rookie in Quinn Ewers, who is going to play the last 3 weeks of the season. The Dolphins obviously have been eliminated of the playoffs, and like I said, I think this is the end of the Tua era. Guitar. I doubt, even though he might be on the roster next year, there's a strong possibility that the Dolphins are going to move on from Tua. Unfortunately, he signed a massive deal 2 years ago. And they are pretty much, I think I mentioned on the pod 2 weeks ago, that they are literally handcuffed to his contract, and there's almost like 100 million cap hit if we release him over the summer. The Denver Broncos did it with Russell Wilson a couple of seasons ago. I think that was 80 million or 85 million cap hit, and look where they are now. They're the number 2 seeds in the AFC. So it is possible. It's an extremely painful divorce. However, there's something not right with Tua, and I think it's quite sad to see the degeneration. His body just can't take it anymore, and I don't know if it's the hip injury, if it's something else, if it's arthritis, if it's something. He just can't drive the ball past 20 yards, and we saw that when he threw another interception on Monday. So I think it's a brave move from the Dolphins. I think it's necessary. I think it'll be very interesting to see in which direction the Dolphins are going to go post-season, i.e., will they bring back McDaniel and say, look, we want to see what we can do with McDaniel, with a separate QB, with a new quarterback, or are they going to literally clean slate, they've already got rid of the GM, they benched their QB, and if Mike McDaniel goes as well, I don't know what the Dolphins are going to look like in 2026. So, I feel bad for Tua because he's 28, 29. However, his health has to come first, and he hasn't been right this season at all. He's such a limited quarterback, unfortunately. So I'll be really excited, Gito, to see what Quinn Ewers can come up with on Sunday. I'll be watching the game very closely against the Bengals, another team obviously who have been eliminated a while back. So apart from that, um, this last week again was just painful across the board. We've had two massive, severe injuries. Two of the biggest stars in the NFL, Gito. I mean, shall we start off with the Chiefs? For the first time for over a decade, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't going to be in the playoffs. That's
Yeah.
got that sounds really, really weird to say, doesn't it?
It is. Yeah. I saw a stat a couple days ago. This will be the first playoffs run since the late 90s without Manning, Brady, and Mahomes, which
Mad,
is bonkers to think about it.
mad.
The Chiefs and Mahomes have been dominating the NFL in the last decade or so,
Mm.
and to not have them in the Super Bowl is for the neutral. Obviously, I think it's great to have some fresh blood in the playoffs, even though you've got the New England Patriots. It's nice. It's good with the team that they have at the moment. They deserve to be there, obviously, with Drake May the way he's playing at the moment.
Yeah,
But yeah, with the Kansas City Chiefs, it's at the end of the dynasty. It looks like it, but and obviously that's the end of Patrick Mahomes' season as well. He suffered a devastating ACL injury. I was watching that final drive on Red Zone. It They were in field goal position, but just before that Patrick Mahomes got injured, they made their way to field goal position with Gardner Minshew, the backup quarterback. They could have run the clock, go for a field goal, and go to overtime. And I would believe that they had a chance to get first possession in overtime. Gardner Minshew, he decided to throw the ball. Derwin James Jr. Intercepted it, wins the game for the Chargers, and ends the playoff chance for the Chiefs. So it will be strange not seeing the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like I said, as neutrals, it's nice to have some fresh blood in there. But
yeah,
it's devastating if you're a Chiefs fan. Devastating for Mahomes with his injury. He literally got his surgery literally the day after he got
yeah,
injured. So a quick fix, hopefully, and hopefully speedy recovery for him as well. Questions will be asked about Travis Kelce if he has played his last season
yeah.
with in the NFL. He's been hinting it. There has been some hints the last year or two that he might retire. He wants to retire on a high, but there was noise around his latest interview press conference. He usually mentions us or we, but he didn't. He didn't do that in his interview. He only mentioned, "I hope the Chiefs finds a way next season. I hope the Chiefs gets him back as soon as possible." Nothing to do with us or we. So some question marks there regarding his future with the Chiefs or potentially with the NFL as well. But yeah, a devastating loss for with only 2-3 weeks to go. They have nothing to play for. Gardner Minshew will be playing the next 3 games. Be interesting, but it's the Chiefs. They will 100% bounce back.
Um, yeah, obviously, like you said, Mahomes has already had his ACL, and I think he tore his MCL as well. So he's had surgery, like you said. So they're hoping that he might be ready for week one, if not week
Yeah.
two of the 2026 season.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time in, I believe, 8 seasons that the Chiefs will not win the AFC West as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's another massive stat as well. So that, like, I think we've said all season, Gito, this AFC this year is absolutely wild. You
Mm.
can't. Nobody predicted this. The NFC is a little bit more predictable, but the AFC, you've had the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Colts. I know the Colts are fading, and ultimately, I think they're going to be one of the ones that are going to ultimately miss out. With another massive thing, Philip Rivers, 44 years of age, somehow is back in the NFL. How has that ever happened? I mean, obviously, my goodness me, the Colts have been, rather unfortunate dealing with Daniel Jones's injury, but their downfall over the last couple of weeks has been so substantial as well. And we can't forget that Mahomes wasn't, unfortunately, the only NFL star to tear his ACL on Sunday as well. So the Green Bay Packers lost undoubtedly their best defensive player, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, Micah Parsons. He's out for the season as well. Massive blow for the Packers, who are fighting to win their division, and ultimately they're going to be at Chicago on Sunday. And again, with three games left of the season, if the Bears win this one, Guitar, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the Bears potentially are going to win the NFC North. And who would have thought that as well? Because, my God, the turnaround on some of these teams is absolutely incredible. But that's another thing that I'll say about the NFL. It's one of the best leagues because you can go from the worst team one year to the best team the next year. That never happens in English football with the Premier League, where it's all controlled about money. This is what the NFL is all about, and that's why it's so unpredictable and so exciting. But yeah, Micah Parsons, how much of a blow is that to the Packers?
That's the worst thing that can happen to that team right now, in the form that they're in. A massive blow to the NFL as well, because he's been such a great player for defense as well. Absolutely gutting for the Packers. It's a massive void to fill. So they'll have to try and work around that. Unfortunately, it's a massive blow. Whether it will dent their chances slightly, I believe. He's been such an integral part in that team. And to lose a man of that caliber in defense, he's pretty much a leader in that defense. It's a massive blow for him, and I do hope the Green Bay makes the playoffs. I have a soft spot for Green Bay, especially this season, and especially the first two games. I did rave about them a little bit too much, I think, but I do want to prove a point, and I do hope they do end up making the playoffs, if not go a little bit further. But yeah, no, very, very, a very tough one to take for the Green Bay.
Yeah, just to, like you said, seismic, catastrophic injuries that has literally shook the NFL in the last 48 hours or so. And interesting what you say about Travis Kelce as well, and I think it's hard to tell if the Chiefs are going to be the type of team who are gonna bounce back immediately next season. I think if they sort out their salary cap, and they usually draft well anyway. They have so much talent on defense. And I think that's the one thing that's been exposed by for the Chiefs this year, Guitar, is I think they need some more firepower on offense. Let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes has been absolutely carrying that offense on his shoulders for the whole season. I know that they were without Rashee Rice for the first 6 weeks of the season. He's played well since coming back. But apart from that, I mean, Xavier Worthy has been very hot or cold. I know he's been injured as well. They've had no running game through the whole season. They haven't been able to get that going at all with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. So I think I think they'll probably go, and I know, we're already talking about draft, but I think they'll probably either go running back or they'll potentially go wide receiver or even offensive line in their first round. Because they're going to be picking much far higher, probably early 20s, than they're usually used to, which is late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, and they draft so well, right? Like ridiculously well, the Chiefs do. So Guitar, shall we move on to the upcoming week, which is where are we now? Week 14,
16.
I believe.
Week 16. Week 16.
Week 16. I do apologize. Week 16. I think I teased at the beginning of the pod that this week's slate of games are probably some of the tastiest that we've seen all season, especially with playoff ramifications. So I'm going to start us off with a game that's going to be taking place in a matter of hours, Thursday Night Football. How about this, Skipper, to get us started off? Rams at Seattle. an NFC West showdown. Both teams are 11-3. The Rams coming off a really good win at home against the Lions. The Lions were winning at halftime actually, and then it was a really really strong finish from the Rams. And Seattle coming off a really comfortable win as well against the Cardinals. So I think undoubtedly that potentially whoever wins this game tonight, Guto, will probably clinch the division. And I think we've already, I think both of us have a soft spot for the Rams, and especially what's going on with Matthew Stafford as well, who for me is probably one of the front runners for MVP for this season.
Yeah.
Especially after, I mean, the talk during the off season was that he had to have like serious neck injury, and it was potentially going to implement a big part of his game. And what is he, 35, 36 as well? Some
Yeah.
people say that potentially he was done and this was going to be his last season in the NFL, and he's been absolutely balling. And I know the Rams are an extremely well coached team and a very round team as well. Their defense, their offense with Puka and Devontae and Kyron Williams are just humming at the moment. So dare I say, Guitar, this is at Seattle. Who do you think is going to take this one?
So I'm gonna let you do the pick for the
Okay.
for the five of the week. But if you want my prediction on who I think is going to win, I obviously the Seahawks had a good win on the last week. It was against the Colts against
Colts, sorry,
the
not
Colts.
Capitals. Yeah.
There was 18-16 game there. The Rams coming off an impressive win. I do believe my heart is telling me that the Rams will come up on top of this one, and they will remain number one up till next week as well. So yeah, that's my opinion. I think the Rams. I do like the Matthew Stafford story. I do think he's top two at the moment for MVP. Not in order, but definitely one of two who will likely win the MVP awards. Which will be a debate that we'll probably be talking about before the end of the season as well, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I like the Rams. I always knew having Devontae Adams in that team was going to change the team to a number one seeded team. I don't know why. I just thought it would be good, and I've been proven right. So for me, I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to let you pick for the five of the week.
Guitar, I'm going to ignore everything you said, and I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Do you know what?
Okay.
Because it's just one of those things. I know Seattle are at home, and it's a hostile environment up there.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, man. He's
good.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He is
He is.
just had the most ridiculous season.
Yeah.
Even he has been the best player to have in your fantasy league, because he's guaranteed at least minimum 100 yards receiving every single, and he's been so consistent. He's never
Yeah.
injured. He's their number one by far. And last year he was behind DK and Tyler Lockett as well. And now he's blossomed into this amazing number one wide receiver. For me, by far, top three in the NFL this season. He's surpassed Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson for me in terms of on form. He's probably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL this season. And like I said, he's so consistent. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, has been very, very hot and cold. That's how he's been. The Seattle defense as well is very, very strong. I don't know what it is, Gitta. I don't know what it is. I just have a feeling, I have an inkling inside of me that somehow I feel that the Seahawks are going to win. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams come off with a victory as well here, because, like I said, they've got such amazing coaching with Sean McVay and the defensive coordinator, who is Shula. I can't remember his first name, but he's the grandson of Don Shula, legend of a Miami Dolphins head coach who was with the Dolphins for over 25 years and won Super Bowls. But anyway, yeah, Gito, sorry, I'm going to ignore everything that you said, and I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a Seattle victory.
This is what's good about the NFL. Anything can go either way. So anything can happen. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I wake up tomorrow morning with the Seattle Seahawks win as well. So
Yeah.
I do love Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he is the best wide receiver this season in the NFL. But then you've got Puka Nacua, who's doing really great as well. So two really top wide receivers going up against each other. And yeah, this one, I'm gutted this is not a Sunday night game because this has got a tasty look to it. So I'm looking forward to watching the highlights in this one tomorrow morning. But yeah, my heart is telling me Gams. We'll go with the Seahawks 45 of the week. And yeah. But this was going to be a good one.
Okay, let's move on to our second game. And again, Guitar, another absolute clinker of a game. Packers at Bears. Another NFC North showdown. It's wild to think that the Lions are not even in the playoffs at the moment. I think they're the 8th seed in the NFC. Coming off, like we said, a loss to the Rams. Although they looked really, really good in that first half, I genuinely thought that they were going to run away with that game. But it was Amon-Ra got over 150 yards receiving, and Goff was balling as well. So, like I said, Packers without obviously Micah Parsons. The Bears have been one of the most massive surprises in the NFL for me. They proved that they're a legitimate team a couple of weeks ago when they went into Philadelphia and they won. They've won a lot of one-score games as well. So, get off of me. This is an easy one. I see this as nothing but a Chicago win at home. What do you think?
Yeah, Saturday night game, Sunday. Well, 1:20 Sunday morning game for us as well.
Yeah.
So we got two games on Saturday. Yeah, I do believe that the Bears are going to win this one as well. They are currently in second place in the NFC, which is absolutely crazy compared to where they were in the first 3-4 weeks in the NFL this season. But I do see the Bears winning this one as well at home. They've been so much fun to watch as well. Great story. A lot of great stories this season in the NFL, it has to be said, by the way. We've had some great storylines here and there. With the Packers and with Mike Parsons when the injury, I do think it's going to take a bit of toll on them.
Yeah.
So I do think with the Bears being at home, with the noise of the home fans as well, but this is a great rivalry as well. I think the Packers did get the upper hand last time out. So I don't see the Packers doing the queen sweep on this one. I do see the Bears coming up on top.
Yet, I mean, surely the rise of Caleb Williams is one of the best stories of the NFL, because especially, after you mentioned Gitter over the last, week 3, week 4, they were calling for him to get benched and for our boy Tyson Pageant to go in there. But my gosh, what a turnaround for Caleb Williams, and he's really shown why he was taken as the number 1 overall pick a year ago in the draft. And I think they're a really good balanced offense. Chicago. They haven't got a superstar, so they've got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze on as wide receivers. I love their rookie tight end in Colston Loveland, by the way. I have him on his fantasy, and I think he's a brilliant player. And they've got a really, really dominant run game. That's what you're going to guarantee with the Chicago Bears. And they play hard on defense. A really physical brand of defense in Chicago. And yeah, what a first season for Ben Johnson as head coach as well. An incredible turnaround, especially against potentially you're going to have 3 teams going into the playoffs. We're guaranteed 2 from the NFC North. Potentially, if the Lions can win their last couple of games, they might be in the playoffs as well. They might sneak in. But for me, absolutely. I think the Bears offense is going to be a little bit too much for the Packers defense minus Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Guitar, give me a game from one of your 5 of the week.
I'm looking forward to this one, Sunday night game. The Baltimore Ravens against the New England Patriots. I am going to go with the Patriots win in this one, even though
Are
it's
you?
in Baltimore.
Oof.
Looking at the last 3 games for the Baltimore Ravens, as in the last 3 results they've had, they played the Bengals twice, and they also played against the Steelers. They lost to the Bengals 32-14. They then lost to the Steelers 27-22. And then last week they pretty much thrashed the Bengals 24-0, but
Yeah.
that's not really much of a test for them with the Bengals how they played. They shouldn't have lost against them a couple of weeks ago either.
No.
For me, I think this is a pretty easy decision, even though they're playing in Baltimore. But the way the Patriots are playing at the moment, even though they're coming off a loss against the Buffalo Bills, which was one of the other games of the week from last week as well.
Yeah.
But for me, the Patriots are going to bounce back to this one because they're just that good, I think. I love Drake May. I love their offense. Their defense are very solid and balanced as well. So for me, I am going to go with the Patriots win in this one. And they are currently, the Ravens are 7-7 at the moment. The Patriots, they're 11-3. They've got, for me, I think this is quite an easy decision for me. I think I'm going to go with the Patriots win.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, because at the end of the day, Guitar, the Patriots were up 21-0 against the Bills on Sunday. So
They
it was a
got there 28-3. The same with the Falcons. So it was good. It was a good laugh, that one. But I do see them. But I think they're good enough to bounce back against the Ravens.
Do you? Because I see that second half against Buffalo as a massive, massive red flag and a massive collapse. Because ultimately, a lot of people are talking about New England this year and their strength of schedule, which is been one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I think they're top 3 in terms of easiest schedule in the NFL. So the Patriots, despite their 11-3 record, for me, have to prove to me that they are a legitimate threat in the AFC. I saw a lot of red flags in that second half. It's as if when it came down to crunch time, when the Bills had just a little bit of momentum, they couldn't kill them off. They couldn't put them away. And that's ultimately what you have to do. You need to be a killer, a silent killer, especially when you come to playoff time. So just a little red flag for me there. Although I have to say, Drake May is my starting QB in fantasy, and he has 2 rushing touchdowns. So I was over the moon with his performance on Sunday, as you can imagine. So yeah, I don't know, Gito, just going into Baltimore, backs against the wall. Derrick Henry's running really well at the moment. Lamar Jackson hasn't had the best of seasons. I know he's been injured. The Ravens defense also hasn't played well as a unit. What you call him, Zay Flowers has been absolutely balling of late. I see this, Gito, as a really, really close game. But ultimately, because it's your pick, let's go with a Patriots win on this one.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll see how it is on after Sunday night, but I just have a good feeling about the Patriots on this one, especially with the Ravens in the last 3 games. I don't think they've lost games that they probably could have won, and they got that one win against the Bengals. That was a very easy game for them. There was men against kids in the end, boys against men in the end. So, but yeah, so I'm going to go with Patriots in this one. So we'll go to we've got 2 games left.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the NFC South for a minute.
Yes.
So before we talk about this specific game, as a Falcons fan, I'm very nervous already for next season. Only because the Panthers are doing great at the moment. The Buccaneers are going to be competing next season as well. And I don't see the Saints getting any worse. I think they will improve a lot more than they've done. They've already won 2 games in a row, maybe 3, and they're playing the Jets this weekend, so they could win 3 in a row. And they've got some easy games coming up as well. So as a Falcons fan, as a neutral, I think the NFC South will be a very interesting division next season in 2026. I really do. So, and as a Falcons fan, I'm a little bit nervous, depending on our quarterback situation and our backroom staff situation. Obviously, we don't have a first-round pick, so we'll see how all that goes. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I'm looking forward to the NFC South season. The Panthers and the Buccaneers, round 1. They're playing twice in the next 3 weeks, and obviously, winner takes all. Who's going to take the top spot in the NFC South? Who's going to make the Super Bowl? The Panthers have not as good as the Chicago Bears, I reckon, but they've done really well from their first opening few weeks.
Overachieved.
You think they've overachieved?
Absolutely, I think they've overachieved.
Yeah.
Nobody imagined the rise of I never predicted that the Panthers. I thought that they were another year away from competing. I think Bryce Young has come on leaps and bounds. I think their rookie Ted McMillan looks like an absolute stud at wide receiver. They've got a really strong running game, and I think I think their defense has overachieved as well, with really good coaching from Dave Canales. So they are probably one of the biggest surprises for me, apart from the Shark, from obviously, as you said, the Bears in the NFC. The Panthers, although they've been still inconsistent, the highs have been very high. The highs have been highs and the lows have been lows. So I'm really looking forward to this one, Guto. And I will let you finish, because, like you said, round 1 of 2. So I believe this first round is at Carolina.
At Carolina, yes. This is a very difficult one for me to predict. I can't put 100% on who's actually going to win this one, so I'm actually just going to go out on a limb here, and I am going to go with the Buccaneers.
Okay.
I think. I'm still not 100%.
Okay.
A part of me wants to go for the Panthers. A part of me wants to go for the Buccaneers. I think I'm being safe for going with the Buccaneers on this one. I think you would agree if I'm being a little bit safe as well.
Well, I don't know if you are being safe, Guto, because the Bucks have been I don't know, they've been shooting themselves in the foot. I think they've lost they've lost 2 in a row. Even though Mike Evans had a really good game against the Falcons. I don't know. I don't know. Just something tells me Carolina have been very strong at home this year. That's my only, that's my only comment on that, really.
Yeah, still I don't know how this one's going to go. Let's go with the Panthers win.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's make it interesting. Panthers get score 1 on this one, and then we'll go with the Panthers on this one. Just to make it exciting.
But I share your intrigue about the NFC South next year, by the way, because, like you said, the Panthers you'd think are only going to get stronger. The Saints have had an incredible second half to the season. They've found their quarterback in Tyler Shook. He's come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of weeks. The Falcons could potentially be Guto, especially, obviously, we won't talk about Raheem and what's going to happen there, and is Kirk going to be there? And it's hard to think that the Falcons could be, out of the 4 teams, the most unstable in the NFC South. And I'd never thought that I'd say that.
Yeah. No, probably the most unstable in the NFL, to be honest. With how everything's been run, how everything's been the last couple of seasons. So, no, no, I agree with you there. As a Falcons fan, I would be nervous going into next season already. Yeah, I see the Saints improving. The Panthers will get stronger. I don't see the Buccaneers dropping to a massive degree. So it'll
Yeah.
definitely be a league to watch next
Yeah.
season, and one for the Falcons fans to probably not look forward to. But keep the faith. Keep the faith. But anyway, I suggest we'll go with the Panthers win on this one.
Yeah. Okay, let's finish off with our final game, 5 of the week. This is Steelers at Lions. So Steelers coming off a Monday night victory against the Dolphins. The Lions, who are looking outside looking in rather in the AFC, which is crazy to think they're the 8th seed, I believe. Coming off a loss in LA where they looked really good in the first half, as we mentioned, and then kind of like a mini collapse happened in the second half. Gitter, 2 questions. A, who's going to win this game? This is at Ford Field. And secondly, is there a world where you can see the Lions not making the postseason in the NFC?
So I think I'm going to go with the Lions win. Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me on that one. I do. Do I see a world where the Lions don't make the playoffs? Looking at the picture at the moment with the teams that are on there, there's a chance they might not even make the playoffs. I can see a world with the teams that are in the top 7 at the moment. I can see a world where the Lions actually don't make the playoffs. But I also see a world where the Lions do make the playoffs as well. I'm finding it difficult to see which of those teams in the top 7 are going to drop down. It might be the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
I think
Packers, I was going to say.
I think the 49ers are in a comfortable position at the moment, being 10-4. So it'll take a bit for them to get knocked down in the next 3 games. But yeah, the Lions 8-6. It'll be interesting to see. I do see them getting the win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers is very off and on. Aaron Rodgers has been very inconsistent as well. So with the results, but yeah, no, for me, I think this one is kind of the easy decision. Go with the Lions on this one.
Well, I know Papa Williams isn't gonna be happy with this comment, but after watching the Monday night game, Gitter, Steelers against the Dolphins, oh my God, the Steelers are a boring team to watch. They just there's nothing, and unfortunately there's not much to them apart from I do like their running back Kenneth Gainwell. I think he's a good player. Uh, Apart from that, DK has been very underwhelming, I have to say. Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry. I think it's time to go. I've had enough of Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you. I don't think he gives he doesn't contribute anything to the NFL and to fans anymore. He's not great to watch. Like I said, he's limping on one hand and on one leg. Might as well just let's cut the cord now. Let's ta-ta into the distance. Off you go and retire. And then there's nothing special on defense as well. So I see this as a comfortable Lions victory because the Steelers don't travel very well either, Gitter. And I have to say that I'm extremely disappointed with the AFC North this year. The Bengals, all 4 teams have been extremely underwhelming, but especially the Bengals and the Ravens, especially. I can't believe that looking at this season, that we would say that ultimately that's one of the worst divisions in the NFL, 100%. Because you've got the Browns, who are an absolute mess, and you've got the Bengals, who are ultimately a mess on defense, and you know I don't know what they are on offense, Gitter, if I'm honest with you. I don't know where I don't know what directions the Bengals are going to go. For me, if I was a Bengals fan, I'd definitely want Zach Taylor to be fired as head coach. They're absolutely going nowhere but backwards. But yeah, for me, I want the Lions. I want the Lions in the playoffs, Gitter. End of. I think they're too talented a team and a roster I want to see Jameer Gibbs, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They belong in the playoffs. So for
Yeah.
me, Lions have to. And I do agree with you. The only team that I see slipping up here are the Packers. If the Packers lose against Chicago and the Lions win, they'll be tied
Yeah.
in terms of their record. I know that the Packers have the tiebreaker because they've beaten the Lions twice this year. So yeah, the Lions are still in it, especially if they go to 9-6.
Yeah. Yeah. Quick note on the Steelers quickly. You mentioned their defense. Obviously, TJ Watt was sent to the hospital last week with a lung problem, I believe.
It was
I
a
believe
collapsed lung, Guto. It was such
yeah.
dramatic that it happened a couple of days before the Monday night game, and it was a complete freak accident. Apparently, he was having acupuncture, and apparently they punctured his lung during the treatment, and he was rushed to hospital.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a big loss for the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
But my dad is a massive TJ Watt fan, so yeah, when I told him the news, it was a massive blow. So I can every Steelers fan feeling the same way. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I don't think we'll see Aaron Rodgers after this season. I think it'll be his last hurrah. Even are they in the playoffs? Let's have a quick look. Well, they currently fourth.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to win the division, Guto, because the division is so poor. They're going to win. They're going to win the North.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting how what they'll do if they'll go far or not. I don't think they will, but
Oh
again,
no.
yeah, the Lions. It would be really disappointing if we don't see the Lions in the playoffs, considering the last season and two how well they've really played and how close they've been.
Mm.
2 seasons ago, they were destined for the Super Bowl, and they
Mm.
lost. And they lost the opening game of the playoffs last season to the Washington Commanders, who made it to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it would be really disappointing if we don't get the Lions in the playoffs this season. But I mean, I don't want the Packers to drop out, but I think they will be the one that will have to that will probably drop off if the Lions have to make the Super Bowl. I believe there's one or two teams in the playoffs that could potentially miss it, which we'll talk about that in another episode anyway. But yeah, no, I'm happy to go with a Lions win on this one as well, and maybe a comfortable win in Detroit as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there we are. Those are the extremely exciting slate of games coming up over the next couple of days, and it's going to start in a matter of hours, like we said, with a brilliant matchup, Rams at Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Like Git mentioned, we've got 2 Saturday games as well this week, as well as the normal Sunday slate. So Gito, last question for me, the last question of 2025, Gito. I want you to look into your magic ball. And your magic crystal, rather. And I want you to predict who's going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC and the number 1 seed in the NFC. Go.
Oh, you put me on the spot here. LA Rams takes the top spot in the NFC. The AFC is between 3 teams: the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Bills. I won't be surprised with the current schedule, although Broncos are a very strong team.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's between the Broncos and the Patriots.
So, who's he going to be?
I'm 50-50 on who it's going to be. For the sake of this episode, I'm going to go with Broncos. Broncos and
Okay.
Rams. Broncos and
Okay.
Rams. Over to you. Over to you.
I honestly think that it's going to be the Broncos and the Bears.
The Bears take number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who do you think is going to of the top 7 teams in both divisions now? Who's going to miss out? So let's run through AFC quickly. So we've got the Broncos from 1 to 7. Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars, Steelers, Chargers, Bills, and Texans, with the Colts behind the Texans.
Oh.
Do you see what?
Who's going to miss out?
Do you see the Ravens taking over Steelers? Do you see? Well, there's literally only two teams left in the AFC that can make it: the Colts and the Ravens. They're still in the bubble. Everyone else in the AFC is out. So the Ravens and the Colts are the only two teams left in the AFC that could potentially make the playoffs.
So the Chargers are guaranteed a playoff spot. Is that right?
Chargers currently 10-4 at the moment.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Guto. I'm going to put my head on the block. I'm going to say. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go with it. I think Baltimore are going to win the division, and I think the Steelers are going to lose. I think the Steelers are going to miss out.
Okay. Yeah. Ravens 7-7. Steelers 8-6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we predict the Steelers to lose this weekend, so that could all change. Going into the NFC division. Starting from the top, we've got the Rams, the Bears. You always said Bears are going to finish first.
Mm-hmm.
Third, and Buccaneers fourth. Seahawks, 49ers, and Packers. So the 49ers are sixth at the moment. I think they're comfortable with a 10-4 record at the moment. And there's three teams, if you count the Cowboys, with that 1%, which let's scrap the Cowboys. So the Lions and the Panthers are outside the NFC.
Okay, this is slightly easier for me. I think that the Bucks are going to lose out. I think the Panthers are going to win. I think the Panthers are going to win the South, and the Bucks are going to lose out.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
It is, for me. It is between the Buccaneers and Panthers. Be interesting to see the Panthers making the playoffs. What's Buccaneers?
Yeah.
So they're both on 7-7 at the moment. So, like I said before, I see a world where the Lions don't make the playoffs, and I see a world where they do, purely because of the other team's records.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lions and Bucks.
Okay, right. So the Panthers are in. Is that what you're saying?
No, the Panthers are out.
Oh, so the Panthers are out. Okay.
I think it will end up being a step too far for them if they do make it.
Okay. Fair.
I think they'll miss out on the final game when they play the Bucks again.
So if the Lions are in, Guto, is that do you mean that the Packers are going to fall out?
Just looking at the record, I need to study this more. Lions are in, Green Bay are out.
I agree. Okay. I think that's a good place to end our final pod of 2025. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and in a bit of a messy prediction there, but yeah.
Yeah. But hey. So yeah, like we said at the beginning of the episode, thank you so much for all your support during our first season, and it's not over because the postseason is about to begin at the beginning of 2026, and we can't wait for it. So yeah, like I said, thank you very much to Guto for all his help in 2025, and we will continue, like we said, to be better. And I know, apologies when you'll be watching this as well, that we've been dealing with a lot of connection issues this evening. So poor Guto after this is going to have a real fun time putting this episode together. But there we are. We're going to finish 2025 in style. That's all that's left to say from us on the NFL Cymru podcast. Once again, thank you so much for watching. A big Merry Christmas. Nadolig llawen I chi gyd. And hope you have a lovely New Year as well. There are a slate of games, some on Christmas Day, obviously, and depending on our Christmas schedule, Guto, we might be back shortly after the New Year, potentially, because the New Year is on a Thursday, I believe. So hopefully we'll be back either slap bang on the 1st or the 2nd of Jan, just to get us going before we enter the last week of the regular NFL season.
Yeah, no, sounds like a good plan. And yeah, just to follow in the words that you said, diolch yn fawr iawn i pawb for all your support, all of your contributions and comments, liking our podcast, all the social media posts as well. I feel like we have grown this year in our social media, so it's been really good. We made some great friends as well along the way, and 2026 will be bigger and better here at NFL Cymru podcast. So keep your eyes open.
Absolutely. A big thank you to you, Guto, for all your help. And before we can't forget, this podcast wouldn't be the same without everyone that's contributed. So to a massive thank you to all of our contributors, to our guests that we've had along over the last couple of months as well. We really each and every single one of you have brought a different element to the pod, and we hope to continue working with you guys as well into 2026. So there we are. We're going to finish there. Once again, Nadolig Llawen, blwyddyn newydd dda i chi gyd. Guto, same to you. We'll catch you in early 2026. But for now, from myself and Guto, Nadolig Llawen, diolch yn fawr iawn.